Welcome to GameGazm, I'm Bren.
I'm Jay.
And today we're talking about fighting games.
Is it dead or alive?
Both, Jason. Shaboom! If you can't get enough of crazy boob physics and bone-breaking combos, then look no further than Dead or Alive. This installment, The Last Round, features all of the content from the other two versions of Dead or Alive 5, including new features such as customizable hairstyles, new costumes, and add some new faces too.
Honoka is an 18-year-old Japanese schoolgirl that uses her own style of martial arts she calls Honoka-fu, utilising moves from other characters and some mystical, mysterious powers. No one will want to knock school books out of this girl's hands in the hallway. And check out Raidao. This evil ninja is Ayane's biological father, and he was killed in the first Dead or Alive game. So, naturally, he's been resurrected as an undead cyborg.
So, what's the point in getting this version, I hear you cry? Well, aside from the little added extras, the PS4 and Xbox One versions are running a different graphics engine that allows the characters to appear more, soft?
Well, the ladies of DOA have always been on the soft and wobbly side.
Yes, but now thanks to it running at 1080p and 60 frames per second, these soft lovelies are even more detailed. You can literally watch the droplets of sweat drip off them and see every scratch and bit of dirt that gets on their costumes during each fight.
Let's not forget that the water in certain stages can have that, see-through effect on some of those t-shirts, eh? Eh?
Yes, very good, but what about the fighting? Jay? Stop drooling on the controller.
Sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. As always, the fighting is solid as ever with great combos and punishing fighting styles that will leave you wanting to master them all. And thanks to the multitude of training options and combo challenges, you'll be a master of your favourite character in no time.
It's also quite a button basher friendly environment too, and if you're really new to the DOA series and just want to dive in and smack some characters around, then you'll feel quite comfortable just getting stuck in. But to really get to grips with DOA's complex fighting system, you're going to have to spend many hours in the training room to get good enough to take on the pros in its healthy online modes.
All your options are here, like arcade mode, story mode, survival, time attack, tag matches, versus. You get the idea. And with the character roster being the biggest it's ever been with over 300 costumes, yes that's right, 300, you won't find a more complete edition of this fighting masterpiece.
It really is a no-brainer. If you love Dead or Alive, then this is the game for you. The gameplay is as good as ever with the extras, recording your battles, fighting online and competing for top scores on the world leaderboard. There's enough here to keep you in the fighting spirit for a long time.
All this is great, but we can't help but think this is just to tide us over until the next gen Dead or Alive arrives on the scene. This version looks fantastic and plays superbly, but the sexual fantasy is not to everyone's taste, and if you played the other versions to death, you may want to save your cash for the 6th installment, where the characters are even more softer.
So, after many punch-ups and combo strings, we're giving this a boober marvellous GameGazm 8. With all of the goodness from the previous titles, this is truly the best of the bunch.
Good grief, Bren. Do you need a towel?
Yes. 2 towels, please. Can you make it a beach towel? Thank you.
And that was Dead or Alive, one of a cracking pair of fighting games we've got for you today.
Next up, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Xenoverse is the first Dragon Ball Z game to release on the next-gen consoles. As a fan of the manga and the anime series, I've been waiting for a good game to come along, but unfortunately the last few haven't been great, have they? Dragon Ball Connect, I'm looking at you. So naturally I went into this one with a bit of apprehension.
Unlike all the other games, Xenoverse doesn't follow the traditional Dragon Ball Z story as we know it. You play as a character you create yourself, selecting between 5 different races and customizing the appearance. You join Trunks and the Time Patrol and fight alongside the Z fighters across time as you attempt to restore it.
The fighting takes place in huge destructible 3D environments and it's pretty fast paced as you would expect from a Dragon Ball Z game. However, it doesn't require much skill, mainly mashing the square button whilst throwing in the odd triangle for effect. Pressing the trigger buttons brings up the special skills you have equipped. Simply press the button for the move you want and there you go. At the end of every battle you're given a score and are awarded XP to level up your character, which is extremely important as the game has an extremely steep learning learning curve and some of the fights seem completely unfair.
For example, the fights are split into different sections. These vary in length, but if you die in a later section, it's right back to the beginning for you. Also, each section of a fight does not replenish your health bar, so knowing when to be on the attack or take a defensive stance is important. As some of the fights can be quite long, dying will often result in some shouty offensive words at your telly.
When you're not fighting, you can explore Toki Toki City. Here you can customise your character further by equipping different outfits and special skills that you have either received from winning fights or bought from one of the shops in the city. You can also equip battle items such as healing items to aid you in Oh, what's happened? Oh, back to the title screen then.
Which brings us nicely onto one of the big issues with Xenoverse. It relies on connecting to a server, even when playing offline.
What?
This means there has been times when the game will disconnect and send you back to the main menu, and this happens annoyingly often.
Whilst in Toki Toki City, you can also... I love saying that word. Whilst in Toki Toki City, you can also interact with other players, if you have the game set to allow online interactions, and embark on parallel quests, either with online players or AI-controlled teammates. These side missions allow you to choose from a selection of characters from across the series. There are certain objectives you must fulfill for each quest, and they are crucial to leveling up your character to get through the insane difficulty jumps in the main story.
Overall, Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a return to form for the series, the likes we haven't seen since the Budokai games. It looks great, feels like Dragon Ball Z, and is highly addictive, earning it a GameGazm 8. Let down only by the difficulty, which can be quite frustrating, and the constant fear of being disconnected from the server, which is a right pain in the... Oh, you've got to be kidding!
What? Wow, what a cracking pair of games that was. Dead or Alive and Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it was a marvellous set.
Lovely jubbly. Anyway, that's all we've got time for today.
Don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed what you've seen, and subscribe if you haven't already.
I've been Bren.
I've been Jay.
And we've been GameGazm. Soft physics.